Welcome to the Idaho Department of Fish and Game's open house on big game seasons and deer and elk management planning. Tonight we're looking for your input on several important issues, such as proposed season dates and controlled hunt permit levels for the 1997 big game seasons. In addition, we would like to look ahead to 1998 and gather your comments on proposed changes and strategies for deer and elk management and for allocating permits to outfitters. Let's start with a little background information. Liberal general elk seasons are currently offered for antlered elk where possible. The population size is managed through controlled hunts on antlerless elk. In game management units where elk are too vulnerable to sustain general harvest seasons, the Department of Fish and Game has offered a limited number of permits through a controlled hunt drawing. Recent research indicates that to ensure the future quality of elk hunting, there must be a ratio of at least 10 mature bulls per 100 cows in each herd. So at the recommendation of wildlife biologists, the Fish and Game Commission adopted this minimum standard. Although the total number of elk in the state has continued to increase over the last decade, a number of game management units are not currently meeting that minimum criteria of 10 mature bulls per 100 cows. This map shows the general hunt units in color. As of September 1996, 14 units, those in red, fall below the ratio of 10 mature bulls per 100 cows. The yellow units meet the standard and the green units exceed them. If we don't implement some changes in management, our map will look like this in 5 years. 27 hunting units will have gone red, indicating elk herds in trouble. Those meeting the standard will have shrunk from 19 to 10.
How many do you count over there?
To account for increasing hunting pressure, the Department of Fish and Game has recognized that significant changes in elk management may be necessary. The challenge is to meet the minimum biological objectives required to sustain the health of the elk herds, but yet provide the best possible opportunity for sportsmen.
Biggest one I've ever seen out here.
Last summer, a team made up of fish and game biologists, outfitters, and members of the public began taking a hard look at both elk and deer management. Problem areas were identified and a variety of solutions proposed. Then the teams developed several alternatives for changes in deer and elk management. Those were presented at over 30 open houses held statewide last November to gather public comment. A summary of the public's comments on those alternatives was presented to the Fish and Game Commission in December. They selected 2 management options for both deer and elk. These will be presented to you tonight for further comments.
Have you got the jaw with you by any chance?
Yeah, the jaw's
Is it
right
attached
on
on the head?
Yeah. You bet.
We'll get it aged for you then.
In addition, the Fish and Game Commission would like your input on a proposal for allocating elk tags to outfitters. If changes in elk management limit the number of general elk tags by a management unit or zone, the outfitting industry could be significantly impacted. Once again, a team was put together consisting of representatives from Fish and Game, the outfitting industry, and the public. This team worked together to develop a solution. Their proposal will be presented to you tonight for comment. So in conclusion, we'd like your comments on 3 issues tonight. First, the proposed dates and permit levels for the 1997 big game seasons. Secondly, your comments on 2 options for proposed changes in elk management and 2 options for proposed changes in deer management. And finally, comments on a proposal to modify the process by which elk tags are allocated to outfitters. Fish and game biologists and other members of the deer and elk management teams will be available at the display tables and throughout the room tonight to answer your questions and discuss your concerns. Comment forms are included in the information packet you received at the door when you entered. You may fill this out and leave your comments with us tonight, or you may take it with you and mail your comments to the Department of Fish and Game at the address listed on the form. The deadline to receive comments is Friday, February 7th. We thank you for taking time out to share your comments with us.